No doubt LED development is the major driving force, because I think LED has been around for a long time now, but in the good old days, no one could even imagine using LED, to do general illuminations. I think that was the fundamental of it. By having a very let's say powerful development in the past 2-3 years, all of a sudden white light or the general lighting application became possible, because lumen per watt on an LED is now start making some sense, and that sense is not just based on brightness, and that sense is also based on dollars and cents. So with that, I think that was the fundamental of it. Now, making an LED lighting product, LED, as I mentioned, LEDs itself is very important, of course, as a core technology. But having the right LED is not the only answer. We have to design the product, to a point that cope with the characteristic of an LED. Now, I'll use this as an example again. If you look at the design of it, it is a little bit different than a normal light bulb, but it could emit light comparable to a 35 water conventional halogen. Now, I mentioned to you earlier, LED emit less heat. Okay, it emits less heat, but much less heat than the conventional lighting product. But again, there's still some heat there, and heat always is the enemy of LED. So to manage that, so we have this bird cage design, okay, for heat dissipation. So also, if you look at it, there's an optic design in the front. There's also some power electronics in the back. The toughest part always is this fits into the general lighting standard that you can use, that you can take this bulb and do retrofitting. Meaning I have to cram all this technology into a limited space that's already a global standard. Now, so that makes it very difficult. So if I take this and light it up for you, so this is a, if you look at the brightness, this is equivalent to a 35 water halogen. Sometimes is actually, people will use it to compare to a 50 water. And the reason being is, conventional lighting, and this is no magic by the way, I'm using a 9 watt battery to drive it. And the reason being is conventional lighting, with its characteristic, degradation is much faster within the lifespan. So a lot of people, when they take this product, and they were using a 50 water in any given environment, they go, oh, we tell them, oh, this is compared to a 35 water. But when they light this up, they will go, wow, you can actually replace my 50 water. And the reason being is, as I said, conventional lighting degradation is much faster because their lifespan is relatively shorter than an LED lighting product. Now, our eyes are very accommodating. So over time, your eyes are actually quite used to the light being emitted. So I think we all know, we can take light tube for an example. Any light tube, when you put it up as a new one, is always brighter. But over time, it's actually degrading, and our eyes become, quite accommodating to it. So until, it actually blacks out, you won't replace it. But actually, it consumes the same amount of electricity, but over time, it's giving you less light. Okay, and light tube always is a good example, or compact fluorescent lamps, based on the same technology. These are a very good example when people start thinking about environment, because both fluorescent and compact fluorescent, they have mercury content. So today, or in the good old days, that was still, of course, from an energy consumption standpoint, is a good solution. But now that LED is ready, and as you can see, it's ready, I think we should start thinking about replacing fluorescent technology into LED technology, because the mercury content is also something that we are, let's say, being responsible. Today, we are in the process of introducing LED technology and telling the public that the technology is ready, is good for, actual application. I think that's the base. And the market that we are involved in today, a lot of time, as I mentioned earlier, is limited by the conventional lighting, which has been around for over 100 years. And anything from a form factor standpoint, from the design standpoint, from the standard standpoint, all these is something we have to cope with today. So I'll call this let's say a retrofitting market. Okay, but in the long run, when LED technology keep evolving, and the lumens output keep going higher and higher, we have started actually looking into the future and see and envision what is the next generation LED lighting look like. Does it have to be in the retrofitting market anymore? What sort of limitation do we have? For anything from linear to fixture to lamp source, I mean, all these thinkings, when we start plugging into some of this LED element, including with design, we might not need to have tubes form anymore as linear lighting, just to give you, a little taste. But does that light bulb has to be something like this in the future? It doesn't have to be like this. If we can take LED and understand the benefit of it, everything, could be, I think, improved even more. Today, we are limited by conventional lighting to some extent. And for people to understand it, for people to adopt it, for people to have a much clearer concept on LED as a company, or as the pioneer of LED lighting, we need to go with this first. And the next generation of the product, it doesn't have to be like that. So I think that's basically what we're trying to do. But I can almost guarantee you, with the adoption or with the proven technology that we have today, with designing LED into a conventional setting, the future is even brighter for us, because with this limited creativity that I keep calling it, we have proven ourselves that we can deliver quality product. In the future, if we have let's say the power to not only enable LED technology, but as well as designing the lamp source or the light source or the fixture, along with it, without a whole lot of limitation with conventional lighting, I can almost guarantee you the performance will be by far better.